Pamela said nothing because they hate us, and currently that is the case. So,
Hi guys, welcome back to the It Was Never a Phase podcast. I'm Jazz, that's
Uh,
Pamela, and we have a special guest, Tash.
I'm
Tell us a bit about yourself, Tash, like who you are.
okay. I'm Tash. Hi, and I've been a fan of Max and Harvey since the end of 2019. And it's been a roller coaster, is all I can say, really. There's been a lot that's happened. I found them via YouTube, and the rest is history. I've met so many of my closest friends through them, and here we are.
what's your fan account?
My fan account is random.fandom.and.other.things, the longest name in history.
Awkward. Joking.
Yeah, just a little bit.
We love
Whenever anyone has to say it, I just feel automatically so bad because all the dots in the middle is just too long.
to go follow her.
Yes, go follow her. Her? I'm me. Go follow me. Come say hi. It's a great time.
She is the cult leader.
I am a bit of the cult leader, and that's okay. I remember walking through
Well,
Leicester Square.
just for like Max and Harvey and Tilly.
Yeah. It's not a cult, don't worry. But I remember walking through Leicester Square Gardens before the shows in September and just leading everyone, and it was so funny because it was just me walking along with my sign and like 10, 11 people following me, and it was so funny.
We were
You
just all looking for her because we knew, like,
and then you
You
guys
knew I knew where I was going. I think that's what it was.
you guys came to pick me up from Euston
we did.
Station.
I
It's
found
true, it's
Tosh,
true.
and then we went and got Jazz.
Yeah. You have a history of finding me in random places in the UK, Chloe. You just find me wherever we are. It's great.
To be
Right,
fair,
yeah.
the first time I found you was at the Sandhurst match because you had your long green car. I'm like, it's
This is true.
Tosh!
My coat is always so long. If you'll know it's me if it's like cold because I'll be wearing a very long green coat. That's probably me at most Max and Harvey events if it's cold.
It's okay. You've said we've obviously met through the fandom.
Yeah,
What are
a
some
few people.
like just what are some of your like greatest parts of like meeting people through the fandom, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy because when I was younger at school and stuff, you're always taught to like never speak to people online. And I believed this for the longest time. I was really scared about talking to people online. It was terrifying. And then over lockdown, I think it was actually through another TV show that I sort of became friends with some people online who also liked that TV show. And then that's opened up this entire world to me and it was crazy. And it was sort of like, and now I have found Max and Harvey, and then literally almost I think 60% of my friends I know through like the internet and concerts from this point onwards. And it's so funny to me because it's like this would never have happened if I'd listened to my teachers in like year five. It's just crazy.
Right.
And
Like everyone's like, because like at work or something, people be like, "Why are you always going to the UK? Why do you have like how do you have these friends over there?" Like the internet.
yeah, literally. It's so funny because it would never have happened like years ago before the internet was a thing, I would not know half the people I know, and it's crazy. I think that's one of the things that I love the most about this because obviously Max and Harvey are great. They're fantastic. I love them a lot. But genuinely, one of the reasons I go to all of the events that I go to and like spend so much time online and stuff with these people is because of the people I've met through that. Because I think it'd be hardly anything if there wasn't like a community behind it, and I think that's what's really
Right.
lovely about it.
Like you could just show up knowing absolutely no one, and then
Yeah.
by the end of the day, you're like best friends with half of them.
It's crazy. No, because I remember like when I first made my account, I knew like three people and that was it. And then it was really funny because there were like people that I thought were like huge accounts who were like like you have when you first join it, you're like there's people who are like famous in the fandoms and stuff. And now I'm like friends with all of them and it's crazy because I was sort of like when I first started it, I was like, oh my God,
Exactly.
this is weird.
I I remember like because I know of your account.
Me.
The yeah, in
Because it was the
2020
longest username ever. Yeah.
in 2022, like I knew of your account because I had like seen you walk past. I was like, I know her, but I was still at the point where I'm not gonna talk to people that I don't know.
No, yeah, it was weird because also I didn't show my face on my account for so long. And I think that's what was funny because I think I posted group photos, so people probably knew who I was and like kind of what I looked like. But there was sort of a long period of time where no one had a clue who I was. So when I was introducing myself to people, I had to be like, "Hi, I'm Tash, random.fandom.and," and it was the longest thing ever, and it was so funny. I remember when I met Tom for the first time, I said, "I'm Tash, by the way," and he went. I said a random fandom, and he went, "Oh, with all the dots in the middle," and I was like, "Yes, that's me."
We
That was
love
so
Tom.
funny.
For those
We
who don't
love
know,
Tom.
can you tell us who Tom is?
Ah, yes, Max and Harvey's best friend. He's an icon. We love him a lot. Thomas five
Here's a
six seven is his
picture.
Instagram. Go
Here's a
follow him.
picture
He's
of
funny.
him.
He's fantastic.
He's a
But
very
yes.
tall man.
He's also, yeah, he's like double everyone's height, and that's not even an exaggeration. The photo of me and him, I don't know if
You
you'll put it on the screen or something, but the photo of me and him is just insane. The difference, the amount he has to bend down to take a normal photo with me is so funny.
It
And
makes it be a lot worse for me.
because I had told
Literally, yeah.
I had told my
All
husband
random.
because he's waiting outside. I'm like, yeah, we were just chatting with Tom and some others. He's like, who's Tom? And then he walked outside. I'm like, that's Tom. He's like, that's Paul.
He's so tall. It's so funny.
What was it that we met, Tash?
I think yeah, it was crazy because I think I messaged you first. I think we just sort of we started talking on Instagram anyway, and then because I was me and scared about people online at this point. This was like 2020 me was like just nervous about talking to anyone. Max and Harvey song reference. But they like I messaged a banger. I messaged Jazz on Instagram, and then because I was like I didn't trust anybody, I think I asked if we could video call so I could like see that you're a real person. That's what I did with everyone at that point. And so we had a video call, and it was probably slightly awkward, but it was fine. And
That was 2021, I'm pretty sure. And like,
possibly yeah, around 2021 time.
yeah.
But yeah, so we had a video call and Jazz was real. And it was great. And then shock. And then and then we met, I think it was like 2023 maybe we met for the first time because I traveled up north and saw you.
Mhm.
Um
We're enough
and
Costa.
met you in Acosta, exactly, which has now become a tradition because I seem to meet you at Acosta every single time.
Every day.
But yes, so we met at Acosta. I think, Pamela, did we just meet at a Sandhurst match? I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
so.
We like we didn't like talk until that Sandhurst match, I'm pretty
No.
sure. January of 2024.
Yeah. 2024 time, I think. Because at the because in 2023, why is
I
my
wasn't
camera
at
gone
that
so
one.
weird? Hold on. Yeah, you weren't at that one. And I think it was 2024 that we first met. Um,
You
but
can
yeah,
still
Pamela,
see
I
you
think
enough.
this is good. Yeah, I'm just a blur. I'm not really here, and that's okay. But no, I think we met at a Sandhurst match
We
um
did.
in 2024. And I think most of the people I met before 2022, I'd met purely online. And then
If
everyone from that point, I think I met mostly at like events and things like that.
you
Um,
don't know what a
I remember
Sandhurst
the
match
first
is,
time because I didn't show my face for ages, and then I started showing my face before we met, I think, on my account. And I remember the first at that same Sand oh hello. At that first Sandhurst match that we met at. Um I remember Jasmine, not you, other Jazz, and I remember her coming up to me and going, "You're Tash, by the way," and that was the weirdest thing ever because I'd never met her before, and I remember that was the first time someone knew who I was that I hadn't introduced myself to, and it was so weird. But then it obviously now it's happened a few times because of what we'll probably talk about in a bit. But it's just like there's multiple different things now where that's happened, but it was really weird the first time that occurred. I was like, "This
Yeah,
is so strange. How do you know who I am?"
yeah, because when I first met you, we were like, because I was one of the first ones there waiting in the queue,
Yeah.
and they're like, other people should show up soon. And I'm like, I think that's Tosh. Because I
I
remember seeing you
remember
with your green coat.
I remember walking across the field outside Santa outside the football ground, and I remember you running up to me and just giving me a massive hug, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Pamela!" But like I didn't properly know you, and it was really sweet. I was like, "Oh, this is so nice."
To be fair, I had arrived like 2 days prior to the UK,
Exactly. Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I was the first like couple days that I'm in the UK, I'm a little
Crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, just ready for things to happen. It makes sense. Yeah. But no, it was great. And I just remember, I think specifically the Sandhurst matches are always the most insane events to be at because there's just so much going on and everyone's there as well because everyone makes the effort to be there and it's just insane. I just remember every single time there's always so much happening and it's mental.
like those have got to because that was the match that I invited them to my wedding.
Yes, which
That
was
is
me. It was crazy.
it was one of like the Sandhurst matches were definitely one of my favorite like meetings because everyone's so like calm but also like
Yeah, everyone's quite chill, but it's really nice because I think because there's no time constraint on them either. Um, because you know that they're going to hang around the entire day. So, and
yeah.
Jazz, you came to your first one like last year, didn't you? And that was
Last year.
just mental. Yeah.
We all,
Mental is in the actual match was so fun. The travel, however, oh my
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's another story. Jazz had to come and stay with, for everyone who doesn't know, Jazz and Misty had to come and stay with me because their trains all got cancelled. So they had to come all the way down to where I go to uni, which I'm not going to disclose because this is a podcast. But they had to come all the way down to where I go to uni and stay at my uni house in order to then come back up to Sandhurst afterwards. And it was all just, it was the most
chaotic.
chaotic thing ever.
Journey
Um,
back home wasn't too bad. It was going there. Obviously, you had to change train stations at one point, and then we were on the rest of the way was like a direct train, but it was about 4 hours ish, and it was just so
It
tiring.
was bonkers. Yeah, it was
I
crazy. I just remember because I remember I was on the phone to you when you realized this, and I was just sort of like, okay, the whole direction of my evening has changed. Let's make my room suitable for three people to sleep in. It was so funny.
And I'm glad that I mean it's a memory that we have that I cherish actually. Although the travel didn't go to plan the way it was meant to be, but we still got like to spend extra time together because we barely see.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, it
It
was
was
really nice to sort of have that experience beforehand as well.
we had our Mackies when we got to your accommodation.
Had to meet all my first year housemates at uni. Yeah, I had to explain to some of my housemates in my kitchen, and I was sort of like, right, long story, but there are two people coming to stay with me this evening.
Long story short, there's two people. I met them on the internet.
Literally, and it was sort of like, oh yeah, this is really, really safe. I promise they're not 50-year-old men. It
I
was so funny.
promise they're okay.
They're real people. I video called them, I can tell you.
You have met me before in person as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
Um, so you said that you found them on YouTube
Yes,
in 2019.
yes. A long
What
time ago.
what was it that you like? What did you find on YouTube?
Yeah, so I was actually, what's really crazy about this is because I was recovering from an illness at the time and I had no energy. And I was like lying in bed just looking at YouTube because that was the only thing I could do. And I remember I just came across this video that was these two guys talking in Pizza Hut, I think it was, when they were doing their X Factor video diaries, the X Factor Q&As, which they've now taken down from YouTube.
Wait,
Justice for them, but anyway. And I think so I found those videos first and I ended up watching all of those. And then I think I saw them on CBBC briefly after that point. But then like it was like after that moment it was sort of like, okay, these guys are really cool and I'm gonna carry on following them. And here we are. But it was really funny because the first like it's between 2019 and 2020, I really didn't have like I didn't have social media of any kind really. I had YouTube and that was kind of it. And I remember watching loads of their YouTube videos and things. And then when I got Instagram when I was 15, which is in 2020, and I turned 15 in lockdown. It was mental. But I remember when I got when I got Instagram, it was the day that they did their 24-hour live stream. And so that's the first piece of content that I properly watched. I didn't watch the whole thing because I wasn't crazy at that point. I was only mildly insane. But that was the first piece of content that I properly watched, and it was just it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it a
I
lot.
did watch the whole thing.
Pamela, that doesn't surprise me. The thing is,
No,
now I
so what
probably
happened? No, so what happened was because it started at 11 a.m. my time.
oh, this is true, yeah, because you're like, yeah, different
Yeah, it
time.
started at 11 a.m. my time. I'm like, okay, I can get up at 11 a.m. That's no problem.
Yeah, that's
So
normal.
Yeah.
I then called into work that night because I didn't want to miss any of it.
I would have.
That's
So I called into work that night and I watched the whole thing. And then it ended at 11 a.m. the next day. And
yeah.
I walked into work as it was ending. And I worked an 8-hour shift.
Oh my God, I think I would have died. That's insane.
And I got into work and everyone's like, why do you look so tired? I'm like, oh, no reason. I just
I don't know
didn't
what you're
sleep
talking
that
about.
well.
I watched the majority of it, but I couldn't watch all of it because at that point in time I had a very strict rule when I was at my dad's. I had
Yeah.
to keep my phone downstairs when I go to bed, so I couldn't watch all of it. I took I shouldn't say this because my sister randomly comes across. But at that time, I snuck my old phone in and managed to watch a few hours of it, and then. But I do really love my sleep, so I did have to end like.
Yeah, that's valid. Thing is,
But
nowadays I think I'd probably watch more of it.
yeah, I would.
But when I was 15, I still had some sort of like normality, but now I'm insane, so I probably would watch
Yeah.
more.
When that 24-hour live happened, I was 17.
Yeah,
So I just
I was
you were
15.
insane already.
yeah, that 24
Me.
hour live was something.
It was indeed something. That's something you could
So
say.
um like so what like drew you into them? What like stuck out about them that you were just like, I need to become a fan of these people?
I mean, I think it was they have very similar sense of humor to me. I think that was the first thing. I think I have a very similar sense of humor. I think whenever I see them interacting with like their families and stuff, that is the way I interact with my family. Like we have the same sense of humor, and so that's what drew me in initially, I think. I think it was also just they weren't taking themselves too seriously. There was a lot of like just and also I think they referenced a lot of jokes and I was sort of like I want to know the context of all of this. So then I think I just deep dived into all of the context of like all of the Max and Harvey lore. And I think that's kind of how it came about. Um Also because I'd kind of been a fan of this TV show beforehand, and sort of made some friends through that. And then I started watching some of Max and Harvey's content alongside. I think it was then the case of I'm a fan of these people, why don't I also become a fan of these people? It was sort of like it sort of then grew from that. And then I think I have a very loyal personality towards like lots of things that I like. So I
Yes.
then become mildly obsessed with everything. So I think that's kind of then it just went from there. I think it was more the sense of humor initially, but I think it then just grew into everything else.
Everything else.
Yeah.
And now they know who we all are,
I
which
know,
is
it's kind of crazy because if you told 15-year-old me that 20-year-old me would have seen them like 7 or 8 times and they knew who I was without me introducing myself, I think I would have been like, "You're crazy. That doesn't happen." And
exactly.
then because it was
15-year-old
the
me would have literally been like, you're such a freaking liar.
literally because
You're
also
delusional. Yes, you're delusional. What the hell?
no, because it was also it's the thing is that it doesn't really feel like when you go to events and stuff now, because we've been fans for a long time and we've seen them a few times, they know who we are, etc., etc. It doesn't really feel like we're like fans at this point because it feels like we're all just meeting up as friends, and it's really nice that that's like the community. It feels like that sort of community because whenever I'm at a Max and Harvey event, I feel completely comfortable because I know at least 50-60% of the people who are there, including Max and Harvey and all of them. It's just like everything just feels very comfortable because I know everyone and it's really nice. And that's one of the
No,
things that I
it's
really like
you know
about
you're insane when their friends know who you are.
you know you've been a fan for too long when that happens. But it's just like it's that's what I really like about that's what I'm really excited about for all of like the younger fans who are now finding them because I love the atmosphere of Max and Harvey events because everything feels very comfortable, and everyone's, I think now particularly specifically at the 13 Again shows that have just happened, I think everyone's very talkative. No one's really acting like they're better than everyone. Everyone's just chatting, and it's really nice to sort of have that dynamic with everybody. At least that's how I've found it, and I
I've
think
also
it's sort of
found
like
it
it's
that way.
yeah, it's growing like that more and more, and I think it's really, really special.
Yeah. Why did you decide to make a fan account? Like, what kind of made you have the urge to make a fan account instead of just like,
Yeah,
have a
just
normal
sort of
main account just to like, comment on their stuff
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
all
I
that?
think so. Weirdly enough, my first friend in the fandom was Molly, who I don't think is properly in the fandom anymore, but we're still very good friends. And I was talking to her because she had a fan account, and I was talking to her about this. This is before I even sort of like properly interacted with all of their stuff. I just sort of went through. I just sort of saw it when it came up. Um, and I was talking to Molly, and I said, "Should I make a fan account?" By the way, it just sounds like a lot of fun. Also, bearing in mind we were in lockdown at this point, so I was looking for things to do, and
Everything
and
sounded fun and lockdown.
yeah, yeah, everything sounded fun. But I was talking to Molly and I was like, should I make a fan account so like then we can be friends on that and we can sort of be posting more stuff about this? And Molly was like, oh my gosh, yeah, you should. So that was that's genuinely what it started as. I think it was the boredom of lockdown, the interest in Max and Harvey stuff, like to a kind of a certain extent, and then Molly being like, yes, you should do this. So I think it was sort of all those three things combined. And weirdly enough, the name, random fandom, etc. Weirdly came from I think I realized that those two words rhymed with each other when I was like 8 years old. And then I just was sort of like, I can use this at some point. I found a notebook from 2018. So this is like before I even knew who Max and Harvey were, that said random fandom good name in it when I was like 11 years old. And I was like, this is so weird because now I'm 20 and I've been using these two words for like 7 years. It was so funny.
Yeah.
That's great.
I just made mine randomly on a random day on the 22nd of June 2019. Why not make a fan account
Why
first?
not? Yeah,
June.
I think I'm 3rd of July. I should probably know the date, but 3rd of July, around then,
I think
2020.
I'm June 8th of 2018.
So yeah,
Funny
had them for a
thing
long
is,
time now. Crazy.
I knew of Max Harvey in 2016, and I didn't become a fan of them until like the June 2019. And I'm like, I wish I was a fan from the start, but
Yeah.
I'm also kind of like, I mean, I didn't have social media until Musically I got straight when I got my new phone.
Oh my gosh, the Musical.lys. What a time.
Musically. Oh, I had Musically. I deactivated my original
First
account.
phone.
Are you that embarrassed about the content, Pamela?
I am, yeah.
Max and Harvey were the first like few accounts that I've ever followed when I got Musically.
Yeah. That was me with Instagram because I never had Musical.ly. I wasn't at that point.
Oh, honestly, Musically
It was a
was
good
very.
time. It was an
Scary.
experience. It was an
Yeah, it
experience.
was an experience. But yeah, because I mean, in a sense, I'm kind of glad, not in a horror way. I'm kind of glad that I didn't become a fan of them in 2016 when I first followed them, because the comments on their like Musicallys would have been insane from me. I'd have so many thousands of emojis on there, and I look back to them
You're glad that that era was not documented.
and I'm just like, so cringy.
That's not a crime.
No.
2016 was just cringy.
Yeah, 2016 was just a cringy year, and that's not a crime.
in a sense, in a kind of good way, because
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
it's memorable and
Exactly. It was necessary. It was necessary, I think, at the time.
It got us to where we are now.
Exactly. This is what brought us to this moment, and it's important. We all had to have the loom band history, and now we're here. It was important. It was an important era.
I never learned how to make loom bands. I got through that.
That's so
I had
funny.
a necklace that was like this thick on me.
Tried and I got frustrated in the bin it went.
Wait, I have that picture still.
Can't lie, guys. I still have some loom bands in the next room in my house because I think I bought loads of them, so there are still some available if anyone needs them. Comment down below if you want some loom bands.
Okay, so you have a fan account, random
I
dot
do.
all that.
etc. Yeah, we'll put it up on the screen. It'll be fine.
What is like the typical content that you post on there?
Yeah, so it's, I mean, typical, there's not a lot of a normal theme that I have going on because I'm not organized enough for that. But thank you for saying I'm not normal, Jazz. And this is not it's true. But no, there's not like a theme that I have because I was not organized enough for that. But it's mainly memes and stuff, which sounds really, really bad, but it just genuinely mainly is just sort of random stuff that I think about, hence the name. Like most recently, I when Max and Harvey and Tilly were on Australian TV, which is insane, first of all. I well done. I had some like random thoughts during the interview that I just wrote down and posted them afterwards. And it's just sort of like it's just random stuff that I think of, but originally there was a lot of memes, there was a lot of some shorter edits and things like that, but I wasn't really into editing because it took up a lot of my time. And that's not like anything terrible, but I just sort of I did not have the brain cells to do it a lot of the time. I love
I
everyone who
do.
does. Exactly. I
I
love
don't.
everyone who
God,
does.
that's the brain.
Um, I love everyone who does, and I enjoy watching them a lot. And I do edit occasionally. I dabble in it occasionally. But most of it is now just random things that I think of and photos of like meet and greets and my friends and all that sort of thing. Most of it is now just as if it was a spam account dedicated to Max and Harvey. That's like my main thing at the moment. This is random stuff that I think of.
And she also, whoever was part of the group chats of the 13 Again tour,
This is true. I was
she
responsible
made
for that.
them.
That was me.
Not the
That
two shows, but she made them all.
was me. Yes, I made group
FYI,
chats.
I'm
Sorry?
pointing down there because Tash is huge when she speaks, so I'm pointing down there like a really stupid person.
It's okay. But no, I created group chats for all of the shows. I created group chats. This actually started with the September shows last year. I created group chats for both of the morning and the matinee and evening shows for that. Because I was sort of like, because basically I think I'd been to a few events where everything had been a bit cliquey, like there'd been groups of people not really interacting with each other, and we were like, we're all here for the same people. We all like the same guys. Like, why are we not talking to each other? So I think basically that's what spurred it on for me, and I sort of then made these group chats so that people could then just like make friends amongst different groups of people and like actually become like a yeah, like a
You
group.
knew who, like, you knew who you were looking for. If you walked past someone that was like somewhere else in London and
Yeah.
you seen the 13 Again logo or you seen like
Yeah.
their face and you're just like,
I
I know you.
It was really funny. I remember when I was walking to the venue, I bumped into at least three people who were wearing 13 Again merch. And what was really funny is because I didn't own any at the time. I still don't, but that's sorry.
Me
But
neither.
it's okay. But I didn't own any at the time, so it was sort of like I knew what they were up to, but they had no idea who I was because also I created these group chats, but obviously not everyone was part of them because people just don't see videos and stuff sometimes. But so yeah, it started with all the September stuff, and then when they announced the tour in February at the end of those shows. It was really funny because I immediately got like three people message me going, "Are you going to create group chats for this as well?" And I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
Calm down.
So then I put all of these together. And then what was even more insane was I got three messages from people who lived in Australia message me and go, "Are you creating group chats for the Australia shows?" And I was like, A, how on earth do you know who I am? How have you found me? This is actually insane. So then I was like, sure. So I now am still part of all of these group chats and it's a great time. And I enjoyed it a lot because what was also funny is that it went out of my hands completely because then at the Glasgow show that we went to, all three of us actually, at the Glasgow show, I ended up sat next to two people who I didn't know and these were the two girls on the other side of us, Pamela. And they were sort of like, "Oh, we were in the Glasgow group chat," and I was like, "Oh, I made that," and they were like, "Really?" And I was like, it was just so funny because people then kept adding their friends who were going to the shows and stuff, and it just grew out of my hands, and it was really lovely to sort of just see all of this going on my phone, and I was sort of like, "Oh, and I created all of this. This is good."
I think it was crazy because like obviously people saw that like obviously we were talking to everyone, but we had our like group that we've known for a long time at the
Yeah.
Glasgow show, and the girls that are sat on the other side of you were like, "You guys have been fans for a long time. Could you introduce us to people?"
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
like
really nice
so.
because then it was just everyone was chatting and it was really lovely. And that's like that was the whole point I made this, and it was just so fun to see it like just happening in front of me. It was so fun.
How has being a fangirl of Max and Harvey helped you? If you don't mind answering.
That's such a big question. I think it's helped in a lot of ways. I think especially with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I think it's the again, the community aspect of it, you end up meeting so many
Yeah.
people. And also I think it improves your like even just your conversation skills and like the ability to just speak to people and connect with people as well because I
Completely.
think there are very few places where you can make a Max and Harvey reference and everyone understands what you're saying. And I think that really boosts your confidence when you say something like that. When someone says like if you had a birthday during this year and everyone in like a 2 meter radius knows exactly what you're talking about, it boosts your confidence when you're sort of
You
saying
just
just other things.
hear the laughter of like 50 people.
Exactly, it's just so fun. And I think that's what's really nice about it as well, is because it creates this sort of like safe place where you can just say stuff that's in your head. Because usually I'm hanging out with like my family or like my friends from home, and I mean love them all very much. But I'll make a Max and Harvey reference and they will have no idea what I'm on about. But in a Max and Harvey, like in an event, an environment like that, you say something and everybody knows what you're on about and it's fantastic.
I mean, I
I think
think
also on a like deeper level, I think there's something about having this sort of community which is really a nice escape for when things are getting like quite tough. Like obviously I'm at uni at the moment, and doing quite an intense course because it's me. And I think it's just sort of like when the workload gets a bit too much or when I'm just having a bad day or just stressed about anything, there's always like an outlet. I can log into that account and immediately there's sort of like I can chat to people. I take myself out of that entirely. And it's what's really nice about it, like it just gives you that extra like layer of like you've got friends who aren't connected to anything in like your real life in inverted commas. Like there's nothing that anybody's like related to. No one's at school with you, no one's at uni with you. It's just sort of like a completely separate thing, which makes it really, really nice. Because then even if you're having like trouble with friends and stuff at school, or at uni or wherever you are, you've then got these people to talk to about it who are not connected to it at all. Because I remember in 2023, there was a lot of drama going on with my home friends, my school friends at the time. And I came to a Sandhurst match in between like while all this was going on, I was at a Sandhurst match and everyone was friends with each other. And it was really nice because it was just sort of like the opposite to what was going on at school. There was lots of drama happening and it was just really nice. I remember coming away from the Sandhurst match that day and being like, it was just so nice. Everyone was talking to each other. Everyone was friends. It was great. And
Yeah.
then now I'm at uni. Um, so while 13 Again tour was going on in the UK and Ireland, I was going to the London show. I'd had that booked for ages. And then I was extremely stressed about my uni workload. And this is probably, I wouldn't recommend this. It's probably not the best idea, but I could not get on with anything. I was feeling really, really unmotivated. And then I just on the off chance, I checked Ticketmaster and saw if there were any Glasgow tickets available because it was a weekend. I wasn't going to miss any uni stuff. I'm not trying to be a bad influence, but I checked and saw there was one VIP ticket left, that was being resold, and I was sort of like, well, it's a sign, and it was really funny. So I bought that ticket, um, and I'd spoken to one of our friends, Misty, who lives up there, and beforehand she'd offered to have me stay and stuff. So I spoke to her. I didn't tell anyone else I was going, which is, which is a sore subject. And so, but I sort of, but immediately, what was crazy is that immediately as I booked that ticket and booked my trains and spoke to Misty, and I had the whole plan, the whole thing done in like one afternoon. And as soon as I finished that, I got on with so much work. I was so much more motivated. And it was crazy because it was sort of like, it was just knowing that that was going to be at the end of this. Like, it was like something that was really nice that I had to just get on with it. I just had to do it. And then then I could be in Glasgow and have a fantastic time. And I did. And it did take out a weekend of my work, like the time I had to work on my project for uni, but I got it all done. And it was really nice because it just meant there was just this other layer of stuff that I had going on and it was really lovely and it just helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very emotional after the Glasgow show.
There was a lot going on
I
at the
ended up
Glasgow show.
crying, and I
But
cried
no,
on
but
the.
it's just really nice as well because it's just like it's such a cathartic thing as well because like you're with all of your friends doing something that you all really enjoy doing and you're all there for the same reason. And even if there wasn't like extra layers of anything else, it just sort of it's just a nice thing to be involved in. It's just really lovely every single time.
And you got to surprise us, which we were oh
That was so much fun. I enjoyed it a lot
I
because I was on the
she
train. Because the thing is, what's really great is because I'd made these group chats. I could be on the Glasgow group chat and no one would really question it because I was on all of these group chats. So I was checking to find out what was going on. I was just seeing how everyone was chatting beforehand. And then I was on the train, getting really, really excited but not being able to tell anyone. It was really funny. And then I arrived in Glasgow, immediately put a photo of the Welcome to Glasgow station on my story, and had about 7 people instantly reply going, "What? You're in Scotland?" And I was like, "Yes." But
I
Pamela
put down
ruined the surprise for herself.
I did because I was just because our hotel, mine and Joey's hotel was literally like I could look out my window in the hotel and be like, oh hey, there's the train station.
Joey's
Like it
Pamela's
was
husband, by the way, for those who don't know. Carry
yeah. But I was like I there was a spoons connected to our hotel. Oh, give me a spoon.
We
But
love a spoon.
anyways, I was
We're
there
not alcoholics, but we do love a spoon.
I was there and I went to go on Snap Maps to see if like my other friends were if our other friends were almost there because they stayed at Misty's the night before. I was seeing if they had left yet. Jazz was included in that. I was seeing if they left yet and I just look on there and then just a random like Bitmoji or whatever it was pops up. I'm like, who's that? And I zoom in, I'm like, it's Tosh! And then I
It was so
immediately
funny.
are texting her, calling her, and Misty had said the night before, there's a surprise tomorrow. And I like messaged her, I'm like, I found out the surprise.
And
Like
it was
I
me.
booked it out of Spoons. I'm like, where are you?
It was really funny. I'm standing in Glasgow Station and I just get attacked from behind by Pamela going, "Hello!" It was really funny.
Hi.
Look at who I found.
Fancy seeing you here.
I ruined
It's
the
actually Joey. Yeah.
I ruined the surprise myself. I found her on Snap Maps.
I turned them on like 2 seconds before I got my story.
But that's what I
God,
mean as well. Like, what's really nice about this thing is that wherever you are, if you're going to a Max and Harvey event, you know someone in that city, and it's just that's what's really nice about it, and that's why I really wanted to make these group chats and make everyone like connect everybody because that's the bit that makes the difference to me. Because I go to loads of different concerts, I have friends from loads of different things that I'm doing, and like different artists that I love. Like I have so many lovely friends through that, but nothing is quite like a Max and Harvey event because you know everybody. That's what's really lovely about it. You just know you know everyone. I mean, obviously people who've just joined the fandom don't, but you'll get to that point if you're like in if you're in sort of like the fandom online, you know everybody who's going to
my
be there. You
thing
recognize
was,
so many
as I
people.
was in that Spoons, an old Max and Harvey fan was
Yeah, that's
there.
what's even crazier.
And like when I went to go meet up with Tosh, I'm like, this person, I swear she's here. I swear that was a Max and Harvey fan. Like, and so Tosh texts her, she's like, yes. I'm like,
I'm here.
that's
But it's that's what I mean. It's sort of like there's this community, even if they're no longer really in the fandom, you still know people, and that's what's really
right.
lovely about it.
She was literally not even there for Max and Harvey. She was
No,
just
she was
there
there for a
hanging out
completely
with
different thing.
friends. But she was still so excited to see us.
Yeah, it's just really lovely. You've just got like these all of these people who like are from different places in the world, even like like you are, like different places in the world, different places in the UK, wherever you are. Like there's so many different people who are just brought together by these people, and it's just
It's
lovely that there's just
insane
like
to
this little
see,
community of people.
especially because because they became like they got a lot of their like newer fans from like being on X Factor Celebrity.
Yeah.
And it's insane because like we were there before like the finals of it happened. And to see from like them beforehand and to them now,
We're
it's
gonna start
like
getting emotional now.
it's like
Yeah. Okay.
like our people that helped us are now helping so many others, and
Yeah,
it's
it's crazy.
like
And now we've got like this whole new level with the podcast, with the 13 Again podcast. And it's just lovely to see sort of like so many people also being like, oh, these people are incredible. They've helped me in this way and this way. It's just lovely they've had this much influence over people. They're just special.
Can I
they
just
are special about what you post on your fan account, your random
Yeah.
things. Is there like anything that you'd want to post but you haven't really posted before? Like you'd
I
want to
think,
try and post?
yeah, I think genuinely I would love to edit. I'd love to edit more than I do. I think my main thing is that genuinely the reason I don't is because of my phone storage, because I think my phone would scream at me. But because I really enjoy editing and it's nice to it's just quite what's the word? Um, it's quite a relaxing thing to just sit and do. And it's like okay, Jazz doesn't agree with me. But
it's to an
Yeah, I was like,
extent.
no, it's not.
I
but
agree to an extent, but obviously because I do make video edits, it's like sometimes it can be so chill and so like not frustrating, and then there'll be other times where if a transition didn't go right or the audio doesn't
yeah.
well, you just like get so stressed out. It's like,
I was
what?
trying to edit our intro video, and the end of it was just like it was like making me so upset. Like, I'm not fixing it, Jazz. It's not happening.
It's fine. But no, I think what's like the thing is, I think with that, it's sort of like you're very focused on one specific thing, which I think is really nice. When you're editing, you're sort of just like engrossed in this one thing. And when you've sort of done it a lot of the time, I was gonna say a lot of the time because some people disagree with me, but a lot of the time when you've done it, you're sort of like, oh, and I've made this really cool thing. So it's really nice to sort of have the end product afterwards. I think that's what's really nice about it. Um,
What is your favorite like post that you've ever made?
oh my God, these questions. Um, Okay, I think I mean there's so many. I think one of like my favorites the favorite edits that I've done, the only edits that I've done, are sort of I think I did some edits like 2024 time, I think. And I did ones for Max at Harvey, and then I also did ones for Tom and Dobby's birthdays. Dobby is also one of their friends, for those who don't know, even though I'm pretty sure everyone who knows Max and Harvey also knows Dobby. But I did we love Dobby. But I did edits for Dobby and Tom's birthdays one year, and I really enjoyed making those. And so they are sort of like those edits wise, those are my favorites. Although I do love when it's Max and Harvey's birthdays for the past couple of years, I've made video messages like they make video messages.
What's up, Harvey? It's Tash here. Just wanted to say happy 23rd birthday! I hope you have a fantastic time celebrating today, and I love you very much. Thank you for everything you've done this year. You should be very, very proud of yourself, as always. And I have a little gift for you. Max doesn't have one, so but it is from an artist who I hope you still like. You haven't mentioned in a while, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But I saw Will Linley live in May last year, and I asked him to film you a little something. So enjoy.
Harvey, what's up, my man? Look who we just bumped into tonight. Thank you so much. I can't wait to meet you one day, bro. You're an absolute champion. Much, much love. Ciao, ciao.
What's up, Max? It's Tash here. Just wanted to say happy 23rd birthday! I hope you have a fantastic time celebrating today. We love you all very much and very grateful for everything that you've given us this year. It's been a fantastic time and very much looking forward to what's to come in 2026, whatever that involves. Stuck on the Ceiling remix, anyone, maybe, who knows. I hope you have a good time today and looking forward to seeing you in February in London. I might bring more t-shirts, more signs, who knows, we'll see how it goes. Love you very much and looking forward to seeing you soon. Hope you have a good time and a good start to being 23.
for their birthdays. And I enjoy that a lot, even though they don't really see them because obviously they've got hundreds of things that they're tagged in on their birthdays. But I really enjoy making them. And I think everyone, I remember there's people, like lots of people who see them are always like, oh, this is great because it's just me going, what's up guys? It's Tash here. And it's like that sort of thing. And then shaking the phone. If anyone's got a birthday message from Max and Harvey, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they shake the screen a lot when they're saying happy birthday. So I've made those sorts of things for their birthdays. What did you say, Jazz?
Those are
I
great.
said they didn't with mine, but I had something different, so it was
Oh,
fine.
okay, fair enough. But yeah, so I think those are some of my favorite posts that I've done because they're just like loads of chaos. And yeah, lots of the time when I edit random videos and all of that sort of thing, that's one of my favorite things to do, just like so much random stuff. Yeah, that's my account in a nutshell, basically.
Even when
Those videos are amazing.
Thank
yeah, even when going back to when you say they don't really see them, but even when like you still like post something like this goes for anyone and everyone, they still like interact with basically all the things that they're
Yeah,
tagged
which is
For all
incredible.
their 10 years posts, they just went right over those.
Yeah, where's the 10 years stuff, guys? And what's really funny is that once this comes out, I'm sure they will have announced something, maybe. So we're all going to be like, where's the 10 years stuff? And then it's going to come out and we're going to be like, oh yeah, please give us something. Come on. Also, I created a whole thing on my story when we were talking about it all. I created I put a question box on my story and was sort of like, what are our predictions? And my whiteboard is currently at uni, but I created a whole thing on my whiteboard being like, these are everyone's predictions. We'll probably put it on the screen. And still nothing's happened. Although that means that one person was right because someone said literally nothing. Was that you? Yes, okay. Pamela was right.
Because they hate us.
No, Pamela said nothing because they hate us. And currently that is the case. So you won. Well done.
Best thing to come out of being a fan and favorite time meeting them.
Okay. Okay, so favorite time meeting them is actually like an experience over a few times, so I can mix these together. So this goes back to 2020 when Max, Harvey and their families went on a trip to France, and Max lost his appendix in this trip. He had his appendix taken out. He survived. It was fantastic. Everyone was like rooting for him, but now it has become a thing. So, and at the time, Harvey was very much like, I'm now, you can tell us apart now because I'm the twin without the appendix, no, with the appendix, and Max is the twin without the appendix. So this then became a thing. And also at the time, Harvey kept posting topless pictures of himself and we were all like, put a t-shirt on. So, so at one of the Sandhurst matches, I created a paper t-shirt that said, I have an appendix on it. And Harvey laughed a lot at this and it was great. And then I commented on one of his posts a few days or weeks afterwards and said, would you like me to make you an actual I have an appendix t-shirt? And he said more than anything. So then it became a saga because then I had this t-shirt that had made that had the same thing on it, I have an appendix. And then all of the times that I was supposed to meet him in that year, the thing got cancelled. So I then had this t-shirt was like in my possession for like a whole year. And then at the next Sandhurst match, which was the next time I saw him, I explained this story and I was like, so I have this t-shirt for you. And then at the time he obviously found it very funny, it was great. And then he then like beckoned Max over and was like, look what I've got. And then Max said to me, can I have a t-shirt that says I don't have an appendix?
It's
That is so sick. I have an appendix. It's a really nice design as well.
What's that?
So you do this like oh amazing, yeah. That's fantastic. I'm genuinely going to wear this like out and about just to show off and make Max feel worse. I'll go, wait, let me Max. Max, come here a second. Let's see. It's for me. That is cool. That is pretty cool. I have one. Yeah.
And so then this thing became like a really long saga, and the appendix t-shirt saga was then very fun, and everyone knew about it who sort of knew me and had like been part of this thing. And then it was even like till September 2025 at the 13 Again podcast shows, that I was then giving Max his t-shirt. And because I was also seeing Tilly, I then made her one that said, please give me your leftover broccoli, because she's a big fan of broccoli, for those who don't know.
Wow.
It's true. She got me a shirt that said I have an appendix. So.
Amazing. Oh, hang on, that's Tilly.
I also have an appendix.
Yeah, very much.
I've been more creative.
I don't have an appendix.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I like that a lot. Thank you very much.
Broccoli.
Oh, here we go.
Nice.
Please give me your leftover broccoli.
So, and also, I mean, I'll say this on here because I don't know if anyone knows this yet, but I'm planning on making one for myself saying I created the appendix t-shirts, and also one for Dobby because he's been involved in the whole thing because he's been photographing it all. So yeah, so there's a lot of, so that saga is probably my favorite time of meeting them, because then it sort of became this big thing. And then at the London show most recently in February, Harvey and Tilly brought their t-shirts, their appendix t-shirts, or the broccoli one for Tilly, with them so that I could take a photo with all of them. I mean, Max didn't bring his, but that's fine. He felt guilty about it, so it's all right.
He called himself a failure.
But he did call himself a failure. I was like, Max, you're not a failure. But yeah, so I think that whole like period of time was probably my favorite time meeting them, because it's just been like a long saga and it's been great.
When you said France, I mimicked the way you said France, and I was like, France.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Jazz makes fun of every way that I say words because I'm from the south
Posh.
and I'm
Posh.
Okay. You said that in time. I don't feel like I'm posh, but okay.
You're posh. Posh.
Okay.
Posh.
I say because Jazz's cat is called Rascal.
Rascal.
Jazz
Rascal.
is pronounced Rascal, but I call him Rascal.
There's no second R in it.
And there's France or France. This is a long-running thing. Every time I say anything. Once I remember I was on a video call with you and like 3 other people who are from like vaguely northern, like more northern than I was. And I was fighting a losing battle the entire time because everyone was saying it in different ways. And I was like, guys, I can't be doing this. I'm sorry. But no, yeah, I think it gets to a certain point where in various friendships you're just bullied for things, and it's great and I enjoy it a lot. So it's good.
I'm bullied for half the stuff I say.
Well, yeah.
You say Tash in like a
Yeah.
posh way.
Yeah.
You say
What?
Tash in like a posh way.
Posh.
Because you go,
Yeah, I
never
think
say
no one
Tash.
says my name Tash. You're the only one who says that, and I like that. It's good.
What are you all? Wait, what?
Tash.
Tosh.
No, you say it in a slightly different way.
but it's
Yep.
iconic.
I say Tosh because your name is
Natasha.
the way
Yeah.
it's said. It's
Yeah.
Natasha, so I say Tosh.
It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes
I just
sense.
call her Natasha, even though her name's Natasha on a thing currently.
Yeah. I think
Because-
basically, when you want to get my attention, you'll message me
Yeah.
in capital letters saying Natasha, and usually it doesn't work because I'm terrible at replying to messages, which is
It
something you
took
should
us a
also
minute
work on.
to get this scheduled.
Yeah.
We had a group chat and it took like maybe 2 weeks for her to respond, and there's just so many. When is she gonna reply? 600 years. Tosh,
What?
Natasha, we miss you. Join, please.
I know the first time you had your uni thing, didn't
Yeah.
you? And
No,
so-
what was really funny is I was seeing these notifications come down while I was working on my project, and it was like, she'll reply eventually. She has uni in her defense. And it was just really funny. I saw these things, you guys talking about me on this group chat. It was really funny.
Making it harder for you. We were distracting.
It was really funny. I enjoyed it. It was funny.
Okay. What's the craziest thing you've ever done for Max, Harvey, Tilly, 13 again?
Okay. I think the craziest thing is possibly traveling up to Glasgow most recently. I think that was the craziest thing because it was in the middle of my uni work and I just was like, no, I need to travel to Scotland. It was necessary. So 9-hour travel there and back. That was probably the craziest thing that I did. Yeah.
Fair
About it,
point.
Missy basically did the exact same thing as you when we went to Santa's last year.
Exactly. So it's
Mine
sort of
was
like
like
everyone's got the same level. But yeah,
one
so
quarter.
it's been a crazy ride, but definitely worth it. Yeah.
Favorite song of theirs?
Okay, they all have a lot of different meanings, but I'm gonna have to say Nervous because it was one of the first ones that I fell in love with. So it is a banger.
We love Nervous though.
We love Nervous. It's a banger.
Okay, Harvey was a roller coaster. Like, what roller coaster would best describe him?
Okay. I have to admit, sorry, Harvey, I don't know that many roller coasters, but I'm gonna have to say, you know when they do all of the ones at Winter Wonderland in London? I
Yeah.
think all of those ones are crazy, and I think they fit his vibe.
This is future Tash here. To just add that the rides at Winter Wonderland are also temporary, like Harvey's hairstyle. Although it's been changed for quite a while now, but
That's what I'm gonna have to say.
I'll take your word on that.
Me too. Okay, because
That's
there's a bunch of different kinds of guitars. Max was a guitar.
Oh
What
my
is
gosh.
I actually have a guitar right next to me.
I also own a guitar.
I do
I
not.
think that kind of one. I think an acoustic one because I think I enjoy it when he's just going like on four chords and stuff like that. When they do four chords at live shows, they often do four chords, which basically just start singing stuff over the top of guitars, and
This is
that is one of my favorite
one of my
things.
favorite things ever.
Yeah. So I think an acoustic guitar because then you can hear them more perfectly over the top.
Alrighty, we have come to an end of It Was Never a Phase podcast
It was never a phase, and it's true.
with Jazz and me, Pamela, and our first ever guest. So, to end this podcast out, what advice would you give someone that is thinking about starting like a fan account but's too afraid to like start messaging people and try and make friends and editing and stuff?
Genuinely, I know it's like easy for me to say, but genuinely, if you just message at least one person, if you sort of even just comment on their posts or just like something, follow people, you will gradually create a community for yourself. Because I met loads of people at the beginning who I'm not like particularly great friends with anymore. I mean, we're still fine, but I'm not sort of like we're not best friends. But you find your people, and I think that's what's really nice about it. You just got to try and put yourself out there, post what you want to post. Um, Tag everybody. And if you don't have anyone to message me. So
Hey,
Me too.
yes, all of us. You can message all of us, and we'll definitely reply, and we'll get you in the group.
we'll reply eventually because none of us are the greatest.
We're not the
at that.
quickest repliers.
I'm
Jazz
good
is.
at replying.
Jazz is the
Jazz
quickest
is, yeah.
replier. Me and Pamela will get back to you within 3 to 5 business days, and that's not a problem.
5 business days works because
Yeah.
I'm 6 hours behind the UK, so
Yeah.
So if you're in America, message Pamela because she'll reply quickly.
And
do that.
message us. There'll be our Instagrams. I'm Milksy Mills with 2 S's. Pamela,
I'm
what's yours?
Max and Harvey _fan02.
And
I
Tash,
am random.fandom.and.other.things.
Yeah. That's where you can find us if you ever want to message us to
Indeed.
if you ever need advice to start an account or just want someone to talk to or anything
If you
like that.
specifically want to edit, go to Jazz.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay.
But also if you need anything, our DMs are always open. So
Yes.
Yeah.
definitely.
Alright.
And that's a wrap on this podcast.
Thank you so much for joining.
Like,
You're so
sure,
welcome.
Yes, Tash, thank you for joining us. And make sure if you're watching and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and leave a comment if you'd like to.
Turn on the post notifications.
And
Can I also shout out one thing before we go?
go for it.
I also have a podcast. And it's called Nothing Else Matters, and I do it with one of my friends who I met through Max and Harvey. So you can go listen to that.
Lou.
With Lou, we love Lou.
Um,
It's called Nothing Else Matters Pod on Instagram, and then you can find everything through there. So go check it
So
out.
it'll be linked in it will be, yep. It'll be somewhere.
Yeah, we'll link it somewhere.
Alright. So, yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for joining us.